conversation about our successes, where I met you, following you, different coaches that we've had,
Yeah.
and the different phases that we've moved into.
Good morning, everyone. This is James Michener, and I got Dave Pannell here. How are you, Dave?
Excellent, buddy.
Good,
brother.
Good. So what are we going to be talking about today?
Everything. Let's just have a long conversation about our successes, where I met you, following you, different coaches that we've had,
Yeah.
and the different phases that we've moved into as realtors or brokers or team leaders. So I'm an open book, other than talking about clear numbers or money online. I probably don't want to talk about that, but
yeah,
I'll talk about the deal structure though.
Yeah, awesome. So we met about, I think it was 5 years ago in California at a Yes Masters event, and you were doing pretty well. I was doing pretty well, and you were just aggressive. You're out there, you're building a team, and I really liked what you were doing. And you always kind of talked about like the investing route, like you were always kind of looking at that. And I thought that was pretty cool, because then I started getting into it. And if you're in real estate and you're a real estate agent, it doesn't take very long to realize that being an investor is where you're really going to make the money, you know?
Yeah, and it's one of the first books I picked up on. I didn't have any money when I got into real estate like you. I mean, I grew up a mobile home as well.
Yeah.
My mom bought a single wide in Haltom City, and I love telling people that the story, because then the progressive of success, whatever level of success is, either that's the income come in or the lifestyle that we've created, that I have an amazing lifestyle now from those books and the investment stuff. So
yeah, well, talk about where you came from and what you're doing now, and what's going on. How long ago did you get into real estate, Dave?
13 years ago. 15, man. 2007. It kind of, if I could say it, shit the bed about 6 months after I got licensed.
Okay.
So I did take a break for about 8 months, work for as a landman doing oil leases in Grand Prairie.
Nice.
Just to figure out, because I didn't really have a pipeline at the time. I didn't understand the business. I didn't understand what I had to do. I really didn't, like I heard on your interview with Brent Daniels, you immediately went into expireds.
Yeah.
I didn't even consider prospecting until about 2012 or 13.
Wow. Okay.
I did not even have that perspective in my brain. And It turns out that I'm very good at it naturally.
Yeah, you are. Yeah, that's what I like about you. You're good.
Not to brag about it, but yeah. And so I just picked up social media and attractive marketing at first. For the first 5 years, working buyers is insane. So
what have been maybe the top 5 things that have worked for you to be successful in your career? Whether that's like website leads, sphere of influence, cancel expireds, what mailers, what have been the things that, because you said, what was the most amount of deals you've ever closed in a year?
127.
Yeah.
In 2019.
127.
It's insane.
2019. That's great. So what led to that success?
I think staying extremely focused on and having the bills to cover the money that needed to go out, understanding capital, really understanding that if you have expenses, you got to pay them. And then you also got to make a profit. I kind of went my whole career up until I hired a couple business coaches, not real estate related coaches, like business coaches, to understand the principles of profit and cost, really the supply chain of leads and pipeline.
So what were some of the lead sources that you're paying, and what were some of the costs that you had at the time?
To start, my big costs were getting the website built out, because that was to start in 2008, 2009, I thought the only thing I needed was to generate buyer traffic. Zillow and Trillia and Realtor.com were not really selling leads. I can't remember at that time. Maybe they were.
Yeah.
Facebook ads weren't really there. They really just had minimum videos on. I generated a lot of business in the beginning from making walkthrough videos on YouTube, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
And I wish I would have kept doing that, because I could have monetized all that now and been a millionaire.
Man, that's crazy. So
they put me on the local news here for making walkthrough videos of all the builder stuff.
What?
Yeah, so I would send those videos out. It would take me, I'd film it on a little camera, just walk through, talk about it, and then overlay audio what I saw. It would take 24 hours to upload like a minute of video back then. Yeah,
That's
so
crazy.
insane. So that was a lead source. YouTube was definitely a success maker back then, before
Yeah.
anybody really knew about video. I got really good at converting buyers. One year I think it was 2013. I did 43 buyers myself with a team of
Wow.
2 other agents. We had 72 deals, I think, in 2014 or 13, one of those years. And then it was 2012. I hit that. That's when I met Kevin Ward. I
Okay.
don't know if we can mention coaches here, but
Yeah.
that's when I
Go
met
for it.
Kevin and the whole group. And I started going to LA. No, actually, I went to his first event, and then I didn't hire him for over 3 years as a coach. I just tried to leverage the knowledge I learned. And that's when I actually just cold turkeyed the buyer side of my business.
Yeah.
I should have now, thinking backwards, I should have hired a buyer's agent or a partner to help me with those showings.
Yeah.
And I could have kept that relationship going for buyers.
Where were you getting your buyer leads from? How were you getting buyer leads back then?
Being very aggressive on Facebook and YouTube, and having an SEO site, a site that really ranked well for. So I really ranked well for about a 5-mile radius for Keller, Texas.
Okay. How much money were you spending on SEO and whatnot per month?
Well, time writing articles.
That's it?
I wasn't spending much. I was making videos of subdivisions, and I was writing articles of those videos, and then link them to that web page. Before anybody was doing that, I was linking people to, and then they would sign up for that certain house, and then I'd follow up with them and close them.
That's insane.
I know.
That's crazy.
You think back at it, but I only focused on 2 or 3 zip codes, and then I videoed every subdivision in that area.
Wow.
And you just thinking back, it's like that took 90% of my time. So you could see how tired you are. You're doing the videos, you're doing the SEO, and then you're trying to close buyers too.
Yeah, that's insane.
There was zero leverage in my business at that time.
Yeah. So going back, what would you do? Because I think a lot of people need to hear that. Like, what would you have done back then?
Looking back now, and I still have the articles written, I'm still getting the leads in for my website. Thinking back now that I hire a writer for those subdivisions.
Mm-hmm.
And combined with the subdivision, I like to write articles about 3 or 4 restaurants or things to do around that subdivision. It all links back and funnels to that web page.
Yeah.
You're hiring an SEO guy for about $100 an article, and then you're hiring a video guy to go video that for $400 for a half a day rate for a good videographer that could capture the good footage for you. And then you could just sit here when you're editing it, you could just do a Zoom call, or it doesn't have to be fancy, just something on screen about that subdivision.
So wait, so basically you're taking videos, you're paying somebody, so you built a website, and then you're paying somebody to write the article, and then you pay somebody to do a video, you post all this stuff up, and then you have people that reach out to you wanting to buy houses because of this?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And the killer part is, and I'm going to say it publicly, is that I don't have a buyer's agent right now. So a lot of those leads are not even being called.
How many leads would you get in if you really push this? How many leads would you get in?
I'm getting about 2 or 3 a day, and it's up to about 4,000 buyer. But the subdivision I'm doing now, like I told you, I did Keller in the beginning. I look at MLS and I look at the top selling subdivisions every quarter.
Yeah.
And that's the ones I go after now.
Wow.
For our area, there's a neighborhood called Covered Bridge Canyon.
Yeah.
It's a luxury neighborhood, 500 to $1.2 million homes. Most of my traffic comes in 5 neighborhoods now.
Wow. And if you really wanted to push this, how much would it cost, and how hard would it be to do these videos, build out the website to get, say, 100 leads a month?
Good question. You got to be very intentional about it. So I've talked to Cody. Cody's my video guy, and we're actually going to start something in April, and then I'm going to hire a good luxury agent or a good buyer partner for that. Or just for the business plan starting in January. Man, for 100 leads, I got to say it's not worth having 100 leads come in, but I know that the conversion is 1 to 2 or 3% on that. Okay. I would rather have 20 good luxury buyer leads come in now. And you got to also remember the luxury lead that you're getting, they're going to probably know one agent. And
Yeah.
that one agent has probably helped them all their career in buying and selling houses. So you have competition. So yeah, I guess you would want the 100 leads or prospects coming in, but you're going to have to work a little bit harder convincing them to break that relationship if you're working the higher price range.
Yeah. So tell me, how many hours a week would this take? Say somebody's a team leader, right? And they really like video, and they're, I'll use myself as an example. I'm a hometown boy, and I would love to make those videos and have that blog going out there. How much is it going to cost me per month in time and money to be able to get, say, 100 leads in?
I think the 100 leads is easy. I think what I would focus on now, business plan is to have those 5 neighborhoods.
Okay.
You make a very good video of you as the team lead in those videos, of you, the local boy, local realtor.
Yeah.
And then those are the things you're going to run Google ads, you're going to run YouTube ads and Facebook ads. So to get 100 leads in, man, you could probably do 1,000 leads in if you just spent $300 per ad so $900 a month on just the local ads for that subdivision. You would kill it. You would absolutely kill it. You would have unlimited amount of buyer traffic, and you would never have to spend money on Zillow or Realtor or any lead source for buyers if you had a good buyer partner on that. I think
A good buyer partner. What do you mean?
just someone to pick up the slack and to leverage your time out. The more I get into investments, I don't really want to work those listings anymore. I don't want to work the buyer traffic 100%. I don't want to sell 40 to 50 buyers. I don't want to do 50 listings anymore when I'm doing my investments, because I'm building 4 houses a year, doing some wholesale stuff, and we're doing flips. So there's just so much time in the day.
Yeah. Well, it's funny that you bring this up, and I didn't realize that that's something you did, because I just watched a YouTube video on a gal that does that right up in Washington, and she just refers a bunch of the stuff out to agents. And now that I have my team, I could have the ISA call on it, go through those leads, make sure they get pre-qualified with the lender, and do the videos. And I would love to do something like that. So I just think it would be amazing. So you and I will have to talk a little bit more about this. So you're saying you build a website, you have somebody go out there, take the videos, and then you have somebody on your website writing the article for it. How often are you having to make new videos? Like, how long will that one video last, and how long will it produce leads? So you have this tree that you plant, right? You're watering that tree, you're feeding it, it's getting sun and whatnot, and then it starts producing fruit. How long is that one tree, that one video, going to produce fruit for you and bringing those leads?
That's the thing with video, is that it's evergreen. If you make a video that is long shelf life, and you're not mentioning comps, or you're not trying to be the egotistical realtor, I guess you say, or if you're just being the presenter of a area of town, and then you're mentioning other things that people could do around there, and giving a sort of a overlay, you could change the numbers on your website, your article, and have it evergreen for that neighborhood for probably 10 years, until you either have gray hair or you gain a bunch of weight and you need to redo the video like a business card.
So you're basically just like promoting that video. That video is giving you leads and sending it back to you.
Yeah.
That's insane.
It is. And if you really look at MLS, you'll be able to tell. You may want to go check 2021 now, not 2022, but you're gonna look at trends and look at how many closings are in one subdivision. And I think the number's lower, but you're not looking for 100 sales in a subdivision.
Yeah. But
you kind of are. You're looking for the most amount of sales for the price range that you want to close deals on. So if your business plan is a $10,000 commission check, well, you need to sell $300,000 properties.
Yeah.
And if you don't have a lot of experience as a realtor, maybe stick in that 250 to 500 range. I think a lot of realtors like to jump to the highest price in their market, and they're just going to run into people that have relationships with real estate agents.
Yep.
It's harder to convert.
Real quick, let's do you mind if we deep dive into this? Because I am very, 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 very interested in this. So
yeah, absolutely.
Let's start from the beginning. What do you do? Tell me from the beginning. you're like, hey, James, you want to coach me into this, right?
Mhm.
So I hire you to coach me on how to build this out. What are the first things that we're doing?
We want to make sure we have our business plan identified. So if you were working, because you're going to get listings from this too. Your buyers that sign up for your website are people that have a house to sell.
Yep.
If you're in that price range.
Okay.
So the first thing you're going to do is your business plan. You're going to identify what neighborhoods you want to go after in MLS.
Okay.
And if a video is costing you, let's say it's $2,500 for you to make a really good video with the local videographer in college that could piece together a 2D video of you talking about a neighborhood. Nothing fancy with the drone or what we see in LA on the shows. Just something that establishes you as the authority in that neighborhood. It's going to be about $2,500 for that. You're going to write an article, probably $100 to $180, depending on the art. And you can find these people write local articles on Fiverr or Upwork. You're going to use that article first to send to your video guy to know what shots to take. He's going to build a script off of that article.
Reverse back like 30 seconds. What was that? So you got somebody for Fiverr or Upwork, and then you have the guy that's writing
Yeah.
I'm really into this, so my mind is going nuts right now.
It's a team. It's a team aspect. So you're going to you're going to try to find the most dominant subdivisions in your area, the most popular ones that people are seeking out organically.
Yeah.
Through search results without any effort that some friends told them to look at. So you need to look in this neighborhood. Those are going to be your top 5 to 10 subdivisions. You're going to get with an article writer and probably knock them all out. Have someone write articles about every subdivision on that list.
Okay.
You're going to want to post that content to your website as soon as you can, and then use that content in the article. You link to a couple of businesses in the area. You link to your search site for the homes in that neighborhood.
Okay.
But also you're going to make a video above the fold, which is the first 1/3 of your website. Or actually, it doesn't have to be on the top. Your stats and what's available needs to be at the top of the website, and you can have the video below. You want to be accidentally found amongst the crowd of what's out there for home searches.
And what are these writers that are doing the articles? What kind of questions are they going to ask you? Are they doing the research? Are you doing the research, giving it to them, and then they write an article based on that? What's the deal with
that? You're going to come up with 10 questions and do a bullet point of your stats, your local market, your what's happening, what can they find in the neighborhood, what type of homes they'll find in the neighborhood. My website handles the comps for me, so at the top of the website. So I try to stay away from the trends of what's going on with prices because it keeps up with the data. That's what keeps the search in Google too, to have that change in the listings on the page. So you kind of want to just whatever it takes to be the authority and just information that would not be known if they're looking on other websites.
Okay. And that video is going to those 10 questions, the person that's being interviewed by the videographer will answer those questions, correct?
They could, or you just, in a video, you don't have to be in the video the whole time.
Yeah.
A lot of people like to see the school their kids are going to go to, the grocery store that they get to within 5 minutes. Yeah. It's really common sense of what are we going to need in that video to move there, and why are we going to move here? Why is my friend recommending this neighborhood?
Yeah.
So if you come from that perspective, I think you're fine.
Okay. Cool.
When you're trying to be the market statistics rep for the neighborhood, I think we'll stick away from that because it won't be evergreen. Numbers change all the time.
So in the video, you're just kind of giving why this subdivision is great with the location, etc. And then that way that stays evergreen. And then you can go in and kind of change the data, like what the HOA charges and whatnot.
Yep. Cool. And that's a good point too. You could do a sub video of what the HOA is in that neighborhood.
Okay.
And where to find them. I started posting a paragraph, a 2 or 3 sentence of who the HOA was in the neighborhood. And I had to remove it because you start getting calls just for the HOA. Because nobody else ranks for HOA in our neighborhood, in our area.
Yeah.
Up until 2-3 years ago, it wasn't a public thing.
So the notes I have is come up with 10 questions, stats, what type of homes, talk about the HOA a little bit, location, schools. What else would you say are the 10 questions?
Let me try to pull up on my website now. So this is basically on citiesrealestate.com, best of Fort Worth. And these are all the neighbors that we're targeting for lead generation.
How much did it cost you to build this website?
About $9,000
Okay.
with Sierra. And that was in 2017.
Mhm.
And well, there's a monthly cost, but it comes with the CRM too, which is genius. The cost wasn't as much as my first one. I spent 30 grand when I was in 2010 on a website, and it was a complete failure.
Yeah, that's insane.
It took a lot of people getting into the business of website generation for realtors. And then you have Sierra, which I think is just the top cream of the crop for real estate. They
Yeah.
rank real well. They rank real easy if you
Yep.
just add a few things to pages. I have somewhere close to, I've actually generated close to 1,500 pages on my website that don't all have good content. Only about 90 pages that are ranked that really convert on MLS are in there as content pages.
If somebody wanted to do this, what would be the cost? How long would it take for them to start seeing some results? And how many leads do you think they would get in a year? And could they support their lives with this? Or
that's the tricky part with SEO. SEO is going to be a long tail ROI.
Yeah.
If you're new in the business, you don't have the capital to do it. I mean, you're going to have to pay. You're going to have to get a good website that you don't technically have to build.
Yeah.
You don't want to spend any time building your own website.
No.
If you're into the code, and a lot of us early day realtors, I was in MySpace. I learned how to write HTML code, so I know a little bit, but not enough to damage anything. So, or to build anything. So I leveraged Sierra with, I think it was $8,500 to $9,500 plus the monthly fee of $350, and then I just went in there. It took about a year to get leads in for the articles. But if I would have done my idea, and I'm going to start, I haven't. I'm going to do those videos and then run those ads with the buyer partner, and I think it's going to explode that side of the business. I get leads in, I get 2 to 3 a day without any kind of ad revenue or ad spend.
Yeah.
And I'm not even working these leads. So if someone's in Fort Worth, Dallas, and they want to come join the team, I definitely need help on that.
Okay. Dude, great call. So Dave, say I want to jump into this. I'm going to get the website built out. I'm going to hire a videographer. I'm going to go after this and be super aggressive with it. What are we looking at in terms of time frame for this to really start producing some stuff for me?
If you went out and did, you spent $10,000 on, let's just say you got a video guy for $500. You made the 5 videos of the top subdivisions in MLS, and you did articles. I think you'd immediately see results once they ranked and you registered that link with Google or that URL. I think you would see leads coming in with the videos within 90 days of doing the videos on the web page running. If you're running ads combined with that, you're going to see, you're not going to need a lead funnel. That's going to be your lead funnel.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. And then you just grow it based on the money you come in with capital. You just get a better video guy, or just tell, Cody's about $2,500 a video.
Yeah.
But I show up for maybe 10 minutes in the video, and then he gets everything else.
What do you tell them to cover in the video?
Whatever's in that article. So they have the article for that subdivision. So they, if we're talking about local businesses around it, if we're talking about the schools, we are talking about the schools, we're talking about the streets, some streets are wider here. That's important to people. It's very popular to talk about the negatives, 5 negatives, 5 positives about a neighborhood.
Top positives and negatives. So the video length, how long does it need to be? Like no longer than X, no shorter than X? Like what are we looking at?
That's changed over the years for me, and it looks like YouTube likes an 8-minute video now.
Okay. 8-minute video.
Yeah, I used to do 90-second videos.
Okay.
I think the if someone is truly looking and they got referred from a friend to look in a neighborhood
Yeah.
and and, and they want information about that neighborhood, try to give them 8 to 10 minutes or a 15-minute video of a tour of the neighborhood.
Okay.
That's what I would recommend.
Each 10
YouTube really
minutes.
likes the 8-minute video. If you could get 8 minutes and you get somebody to watch that video, enough attention on that video to watch at least 8 minutes, you're gonna find that it organically goes viral.
Yeah. Or even like do some shorts, like put some shorts together to put that on Facebook.
That's the thing with the video. Everything that you say, every paragraph could be a short that links to that overall video.
Yeah, I like that. That's
Yeah,
good.
to have all that interlinking and funneling. You have your videos, you have your article, you have your website. Then you have people that are recommending their friends to go live there, or they live in the neighborhood. It
Yeah.
funnels down to you. They either call the person that is referred to them, they like them, they don't like them, or some grant program to help them buy, and they don't like that realtor. And then you're the authority every time they go to that neighborhood, or you have sellers in that neighborhood that'll sell eventually. They eventually watch your video over and over and over.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
and they will do a CMA request every 6 months, and those are the people that you're going to get listings from.
Yeah.
You're virtually farming at that point, which is you don't want to be a overall everybody realtor. You want to pick 5, like I did in the beginning. You want to pick 2 zip codes and lead funnel for that. If you're a buyer's agent or have a team lead that filters buyers, that's what you want.
Yeah. I like this so much. I think it's such a great idea. And I'm in
I need to
older
complete it
team.
myself. In theory, it works great, and I think when we're thinking about leveraging ourselves into retirement, not retirement, but into where we could benefit,
Yeah.
like your team you have now, and I could benefit multiple people and create a living for them. I love the idea on that aspect of it.
Yeah, completely. So I think this is something I'm definitely going to try, Dave, and I want to talk to you more about it and see what we can do going forward. Since you're just starting in on it, do you think if an agent has their website already done for their team or for themselves, do they need to build a separate website, or can they use their current website?
That was the thought when we first started building websites back early 10 years ago, is that we needed multiple domain names, multiple websites for every lead traffic. I think you just need that one authority site, and you work off the pages within that site.
Okay.
You could do a lot of damage if you don't want it. If you didn't want to spend any money on video or SEO, you could write out 10 questions that you think are common sense for a neighborhood. Go shoot that video yourself and post it on a citiesrealestate.covered bridge canyon website, a separate page. Let me show you. So a separate page would be Hogan's Glen. And then you have Cities Real Estate Trophy Club with the city it's in, Hogan's Glen. You have a little bit of snippet that Google picks up that Hogan Glen's title. Then you have what's in the neighborhood. You have your search results, CMA requests if they're looking to sell a house. And then right underneath it, you have an article written. That's really good. What I've done, and I've had testimonials over the years, that's really powerful for my pages. I have over 150 testimonials from clients shot at the closing table, which takes no money other than just the aptitude to say, hey, will you do a 5-minute video for me, talk about what I did for you? And the first thing on that, here's a bomb for you. Ask for something negative first, and then go for a positive when you're asking for reviews.
Yeah, I like
let
that.
Let them get off their mind if you screwed anything up.
Yeah. Okay.
Or if there's any delay, and then ask them 3 things to positive, and then just edit the negative out if you want to.
Yeah.
So that's what I've done. And then I would probably put the video right here of Hogan's Glen.
Yeah.
If I did anything. That way, if they're scrolling down the page, and now you're really going after the person that's looking in that neighborhood. So back to the 8-minute video or the information about that subdivision. I used to be the say, hey, the shorter the better, the shorter content, just get somebody to register. But now everyone's doing those shorts and everyone's doing the short content. So
Yeah.
go long tail with as much detail as you can. And then when you actually get someone to register, I have action plans set up for certain areas of town or all these articles that they send that article to their email right away.
Okay. Nice.
So they get that page sent to their email. If they're right now, I think I have it in area. So like Hogan's Glenn's Trophy Club. So if they search in Trophy Club, I have a search set up for Trophy Club and all the emails that go out within a month of the different neighborhoods in Trophy Club.
Cool.
So that touch is there, plus the calls and phone and text messages.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Mm-hmm.
So pick 5 subdivisions, have your videographer go build the video, right?
Yep.
And then have your article person write the article for you. How are you going to guide the person writing the article? Let's talk about
By a
that.
template. You have it reversed. I would do the article first, so you know, because you may not know things that the article writer will find about the video or about the. You may not know things about the neighborhood that the article writer will research for you. By having sometimes I just send them the photos, the solds and the actives in the neighborhood, and let them go off of the information in the listings to design the article. And that article becomes a script for that video or a template for that video editor to put a video together. And then if you have, what we're going to attempt to do is send a letter out to everybody to see if they want to interview for our video, so we could get some homeowners in our subdivision videos. So I'm actually going to spend the higher tier on about 10 videos this April, and then combine, once they register for that neighborhood, I'm going to send out a write-up of, or I think I reduced it down to 50 top neighborhoods in the Fort Worth area. I'm going to ask for their address so I can have more data on them, and then send that magazine to them in the mail. Cool. So it's a hardcore copy in the mail to them.
So I go to Fiverr and the other website that you said, I hire somebody, and so you're sending them listings that are currently in that neighborhood, so that they can kind of build off the article with those listings. What else are you doing? What else are you sending? What else are you providing them?
Oh, for the article writer?
Yeah.
I believe the way that it started for me is that I already had a template done from a neighborhood. So to have someone hire, just like anything, if you're going to get tile done or any type of contractor, find 3 people and ask them to go for $150, go write me an article of this neighborhood. Just give them that information. I want schools. And you're going to provide them the MLS content of the description of the houses. Just ask them to go be creative, and then see which one you like the best. What I found is that I found 3 good writers that were really good at research, and that they didn't need my template. And now I have 90 articles written. I started doing this with 55 plus neighborhoods. So people looking at 55 plus neighborhoods goes back into wanting investment. They usually have a house to sell to buy that house.
Yeah.
So if I'm getting people to register for 55 plus communities, it's the same difference. I'm writing an article about every neighborhood that in our area that is 55 plus or adult community that will get that lead if someone has an investment property or a house that we could buy. It's the same difference. I'm hiring somebody to be creative, to do what they do. It's really hard to put a writer into a box and say, just write about this. You know, let them be creative, and then you can edit. I probably, out of every article I've gotten, I've never had to edit what they've given me because it was so good.
Wow, really?
And you're not hiring somebody that needs that help. You're not hiring someone that does not know how to write or research.
Yeah, write or do research.
Write or do the research. Yeah. So or same together.
Yeah.
And
then how are you getting the leads? They're signing up on your website and giving you their information?
Yeah, and they're viewing 3 to 5 homes, which is unheard of on the registration. So you're not getting forced registrations at that point either.
Oh,
But
nice.
you don't want to really turn that off because you do want them to register at some point. But I think I have it set on 3 to 4, viewing 3 to 4 houses, so they're not just viewing their house.
Yeah.
Um, and they're using, and the other beautiful thing about this thing, James, is that they're using your website. I'm working with somebody. I just saw from, I had 0 traffic in 2019, even though I had the website, no articles. And I went from almost 3,000 views a day just
Wow.
by posting the 90 articles.
Wow.
It was amazing. So,
That's crazy. And that's where you're getting most of your buyer leads from,
yeah.
right?
And then they're using the website. So
Yeah.
there's people have to understand that there's really no purpose of having a website unless people are using it.
Yeah, for sure. Yep. Let me show you my website real quick, if you don't
Okay.
mind. And you tell me if this is something that would even work. So this is my website, right? Is this something where I could start posting these and,
Are you with Sierra or Rue?
I don't know. No idea.
That's excellent. And you're selling 300 homes a year. I love it.
Yeah.
Do you what's your ratio on listings to buyers for you?
We're probably at 65% listings, 35% buyers now at this point. But I'd
Okay.
like to get more buyer leads in for sure. So
Absolutely. And
yeah.
and that's just I don't have a problem with buyer leads right now. I just don't work them.
Yeah.
It's been that way for 7 years.
But that's your
So,
best way to build a team. And there's a lot of people that don't want to do listings. They just want to do buyers. So that's the reason I want to leverage the buyer side. But
it looks like you have a Roost site, real estate webmaster site.
Okay.
I would consider what CRM do you use?
Follow Up Boss.
Yeah. I don't want to coach you on what to do because you're awfully successful, but
Yeah, but this isn't my realm.
I would look at Sierra.
Okay.
They were just purchased by a bigger company. It's just cleaner, man. It's just cleaner. They rank better, and it's easier to add things to the and if you want me to coach you, it's easier for me to coach you on it. But you have pages you could add to the site, probably pretty easy in the back end.
Okay. Yeah.
So whoever's going to do it for you on your team, there's a way that you could just add a page, and you want to make the URL real clean. So it's the michaelgroup.com / just the subdivision name. But on Sierra, I have to put it under a city. So that's why you see Trophy Club - Hogan's Glen.
Okay.
So it's a clean URL. I'm not trying to say homes to buy or homes for sale in Hogan's Glen. I don't want any of that garbage on my website.
Yeah.
I'll have homes to sell probably once in the article.
Mm-hmm.
But my main dominant feature is that name of that subdivision.
Okay.
You want to have a very clean page for Google or whatever search engine is going to look at it.
Okay. So I think what I want to do, and if you're up for this, is maybe we jump on another Zoom, and this is kind of like our this is part 1, and then I'll have way more questions dialed in for part 2 if that's something you're up to.
Yeah.
So,
and again, call to action. If anyone's in Dallas-Fort Worth and they see this, I do need a buyer partner that we focus. And another thing, we focus in Fort Worth or Chain County.
yeah.
I do not try to focus in Dallas or Sherman I will do listings in those areas if it's foreclosure, probate, or investment listing. But typically digitally farming, you need to stick to a certain area, and then those buyers, they just need to know everything about those areas.
Perfect. Okay. So we got part 1 of digital farming. So
nice.
Yeah, I like it. So we'll do another part 2. You and I will connect and send a message back and see what we can do. I'm super interested in this, Dave. I'm not even kidding. I started getting interested in this about 10 days ago. So it's
nice.
something I really, really want to hit. I think it's a great idea. And
let's just do it together. Let's commit together before the next call. Once you start interviewing local college videographer guys.
Yeah, I already have one. Yeah.
Okay. And the editing is more important. Well, the video footage is important, but the editing is where the emotions are brought into the video. So
Okay.
if you want an example, you go watch Johnny Harris on YouTube.
All right.
And
So
that's
say
a
I
good
want to start
template.
this today. Like I want to get something going today. I'm just that type of person where I
I
want
know
to
you
get
are.
today.
I know you
Yeah.
are.
So do I need to go on Fiverr, find somebody to write the article for me?
Yep. You need
Okay.
no go on MLS, find your top 10 neighborhoods,
Okay.
and you're gonna know. You've been in your area for a while. You know your top neighborhoods.
Yeah. Okay.
You know,
And then what
and
else?
then go write an article about those top neighborhoods and go ahead and post them to a web page that you generate on that website you showed me. Get that
Okay.
content live on there, and then link to 2 or 3 businesses in the area. When I say link to a certain business in the area, it's we call it the gotta check out section on our website. So when you think about a lead registering, this is going to go a little deep for a minute, but we could cover it next time. You have a lead registering for that neighborhood because their friend recommended it.
Yeah.
They get the email for that neighborhood. They get a couple calls from us.
Yeah.
They get a text message saying, is this the only neighborhood they're looking, or are they open to the other top neighborhoods in the area? And then you start, instead of just sending them real estate stuff, you're sending them got to check out things around the area. Like
Yeah.
we have archery, we have a bunch of Republicans here, so we have gun things around here. We have Hurricane Harbor, just things that you could send other than real estate. That is a 2 or 3 sentence in an email, like a Twitter email, I call it. That
Yeah.
they'll just see your name consistently, and hopefully, if their friend that recommended them to a realtor doesn't work out, they're going to call you.
We'll be in touch because I got to run too. So part 1 of digital farming. Yeah, this is awesome.
Yeah.
So
okay, man.
cool. All right. Well, thank you. I appreciate it. Okay.
All right. You too. Thanks.
All right.
Bye.
Bye.